In my village, love does not choose who to marry. Tradition does. And tradition is never kind to the poor. The village square was a theater of judgment, and I was the unwilling star. The elders, guardians of our ancient ways, sat in a formidable semicircle on their carved wooden stools. Villagers, their whispers like the rustling of dry leaves, formed a restless audience. And there she was, Azin, standing behind her parents, a vision of beauty and fear. Her eyes were locked on mine, a silent plea across the crowded space. Elder Kachi cleared his throat, the sound echoing in the tense air. The ancestors have spoken. Silence fell, thick and heavy. You could hear a pin drop. Elder Nwabueze, his voice raspy with age, continued, "For Azin, daughter of Obioma." My heart hammered against my ribs, a frantic drumbeat of hope and dread. The bride price is 10 cows. A collective murmur rippled through the crowd. 10 cows. It was a fortune for anyone, let alone a man like me. But they weren't finished. Elder Rabina, his face a mask of stern authority, added the final, crushing blow, and 2 plots of land. Gasps erupted from the crowd. It was an impossible sum, a king's ransom. I couldn't stop myself. I shot to my feet, my voice cracking with disbelief. That's impossible. Azin's mother, her face contorted with anger, hissed at me, "You shame this gathering." But I couldn't be silent. My world was collapsing. I looked from the elders to Azin's parents, my voice shaking but full of a desperate honesty. "I love her. That should matter." Elder Kachi's reply was cold and dismissive. "Love does not feed ancestors." I saw the tears well up in Azin's eyes, each one a dagger in my heart. In that moment, I understood. They didn't want my money. They didn't want cows or land. They wanted my defeat. They wanted to see me broken, to prove that a poor man's love was worthless. Later that evening, we met under the sprawling branches of the old mango tree, our secret haven. The moon cast long shadows as Azin whispered, her voice laced with anguish, "Chibuzo, please don't destroy yourself for me. This is too much to ask." I took her hands in mine, their trembling a stark contrast to the firmness of my resolve. "If I walk away, I lose you forever. There is no life for me without you in it." She looked away, a tear tracing a path down her cheek. "Maybe love is not enough," she choked out. I pulled her closer, forcing her to look at me. "Then I'll make it enough." And so began my long, grueling trial. My life became a montage of sacrifice. I sold my motorcycle, my only prized possession, arguing with the buyer over every last coin. I carried heavy loads at the market, the sun beating down on my back until I thought I would collapse. I toiled on other men's farms from sunrise to sunset, my hands becoming calloused and raw. My small hut became emptier, my nights spent on a bare floor, counting the few coins I had managed to save, over and over again. The mockery of the villagers was a constant chorus. "Poor man wants a rich bride," one would laugh as I passed, his friends joining in. The seasons changed. Rain poured down, turning the earth to mud, but I kept working, driven by the image of Azin's face. I sold my comfort. I sold my pride. I sold my future, all to buy love. Sometimes, from a distance, I would see her watching me, her expression a mixture of pain and helplessness. Her silent suffering fueled my determination. I would not let them win. I would not let her down. Months passed, turning into a year. I was a shadow of my former self, thin and weary, but my spirit was unbroken. Finally, the day arrived. The day of the final reckoning. The drums beat loudly, a thunderous heartbeat calling everyone to the village square. The crowd was even larger than before, buzzing with anticipation. Azin stood in the center, dressed in magnificent traditional bridal attire, beads and fabric shimmering in the sunlight. She looked like a queen, but her eyes were filled with an unbearable anxiety. I walked into the square, my steps slow but steady. I was exhausted, but my head was held high. All eyes turned to me. A hush fell over the crowd. Elder Kachi stood, his gaze sweeping over me, taking in my worn clothes and weary face. "Has the bride price been paid?" he boomed. I stepped forward, my voice clear and strong. "I am ready." The elders exchanged long, unreadable glances. A strange energy filled the air, a suspense so thick you could taste it. Then, just as the ceremony was about to proceed, Elder Nwabueze raised his hand. "Stop." The drums halted instantly. The world went silent. I could feel sweat trickling down my spine. I saw Ezin tremble, her hand flying to her mouth. This was it, the moment of my triumph or my ultimate humiliation. Elder Kachi looked directly at me, and a slow smile spread across his weathered face. The bride price, he began, drawing out the words, was never about cows or land. A wave of confused murmurs swept through the crowd. What did he mean? I stared at him, my mind reeling. Elder Rabina spoke next, his voice softer than I had ever heard it. It was to test your heart. Elder Nwabuez added, his eyes twinkling, to see if love could endure hardship, to see if your spirit was as rich as your pockets were poor. The strength drained from my body. My knees buckled, and I sank to the ground, overwhelmed by a flood of relief so powerful it felt like a physical blow. The impossible task, the mockery, the endless labor, it was all a test I had passed. Before anyone could react, Ezin broke free from her parents. She ran to me, her beautiful attire flowing behind her. She knelt in the dust, throwing her arms around my neck. "You never gave up on me," she cried, her tears of joy soaking my shoulder. I held her tight, my own tears finally falling, washing away the pain of the past year. "Never," I whispered into her hair. "Not even once." The crowd erupted. Cheers, applause, and joyous ululations filled the air. The drums started again, this time with a beat of pure celebration. In that moment, surrounded by the joy of our people, I held the only treasure that ever mattered. As we danced, lost in our own world, I knew one thing for sure. When love is real, even tradition bows. If this story touched you, like, share, subscribe, and give a thumbs UP on Chizzy's Craft.